Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of my Out of the Park Baseball 22 series with the Pirates. And when I last left off, we suffered a heartbreaking defeat in the wildcard game to the Padres. And of course I went over how the Dodgers went on their way to sweep the postseason and win the World Series against the Seattle Mariners. And of course after that we have the offseason to get into and basically, go ahead and look to retool our team for the upcoming season. So we're just going to go ahead and jump into just that. So, of course, as a reminder, the team control years were expanded to 7 years. So now players have 7 years of team control until they are an eligible free agent. So that means Mitch Keller, his stay in Pittsburgh will be extended another season, most likely. He is available for arbitration this year, and just interested to see kind of what he would like, and it's looking like he would like an extension here, and so that's kind of interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and look at some of his salaries, what he expects to make by year. So yeah, he has 2 upcoming years of team control. I'm not quite sure what we want to do here. Maybe, okay, so yeah, 6, 10, and then 15 across the board. I'm not quite sure if I want to commit to paying him that much money quite yet. I think we'll let this go another year maybe, and then try and see what he would want. But if he wants 6.6, maybe we could avoid arbitration with just a 1-year deal right here and see what would go for. He would go for something along the lines of $8.5 million. So I think we're just going to go ahead with our offer there. Brubaker, he has 4 weeks left, and he, is slotted to make $1.1 million after, being on the shelf for a long time. So I think, we have to continue forward with him. Josh Taylor, we're going to just withdraw on because of his torn UCL. He's really not going to be available for us this year. And as the kind of penny pinching situation we're in, we don't necessarily have the room to go forward with guys like that. Same thing in this catching situation that we have. We can't keep both Stallings and Nido on. To be honest, I'm kind of looking to go with Nido here over Stallings. Of course, Stallings now has team control available left because of the increase to 7 years. So he wants $3 million. I just don't have $3 million that we're going to use to keep him on. Nido's catcher ability even went down. So to be honest, we could be out just looking for a new catcher altogether. Like we could get Cam Gallagher, probably about the same price and better ability. Same with Tucker Barnhart. So I think that's actually what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and kind of just non-tender both of these guys and maybe try to get them at cheaper price. And of course, we picked up Stallings in the middle of the year last year for basically nothing. So, maybe the same thing could happen to us again. Senzel, of course, the increase in team control years really helps us out for him, because then we can keep him at a pretty cheap price. For $6.5 million for the production that he turned in for us last season would be, quite frankly, a steal. So, it's definitely worth to have him around. Carrasco, he's available here. He would love to come back on another 1-year deal for about $4 million, but as you can see, we're kind of tight with money right now, so kind of be hard to make something like even something little as that happen. So we kind of do need to assess our money situation here, because we just have no money left. Some guys are going to be due for salary increases this year, and basically we just don't have it. I mean, as you can see, our team payroll right now, we're pretty much pushing up right against it, and to be honest, we're not really paying anyone. We have Hayes, who we're paying a 2 figures salary, as in in the tens of millions, and Keller will be almost there, and then we have a bunch of guys making kind of in the low single-digit $1 million range. But other than that, I mean, we really don't have anyone that we're paying quite a bit here. So we might have to sort of get creative a lot of our guys coming up. We do have a lot of guys, young guys who don't need to be renewed. So that is a good thing that we have. Alvarez, he might be a guy that I might just have to let go. We'll have to see how our money situation shakes out, because we just will need a backup catcher, and I'm honestly not quite sure how we would cover that at this point, since we are right up against our money situation. See maybe what we could do if we tried to offer an extension to these guys like this. We would not be able to afford Stallings, but we could possibly afford Nito, but he's not interested in discussing. So before we do jump into free agency, I want to go ahead and just kind of assess our needs. Offensively, I think we're probably pretty much set. We have Almeas, who's going to need the slot in to get it short, because we just don't have anyone else. We have Senzel. Our offense is pretty set. I don't think, again, we're going to have much room to do anything, so we're kind of just forced to ride it out with our guys. I thought about non-tendering Cole Tucker and leaving Senzel in kind of the utility role, just playing every day somewhere, more frequently than Tucker was. But we probably really need that depth, because you can really never have too much depth in this game with the frequency of injuries. I just noticing this Cal Stevenson guy who is very good. I believe we acquired him via trade and some moves that we already made to free up some money. So without further ado and dragging this out too much, I'm going to go ahead and get further into the offseason and get into the awards. Alright, so now we have the awards to go over and look at pretty much every player who won an award. Here are your American League Gold Glove Award winners. Nothing too out of the ordinary there. Your National League, again, pretty much the ordinary there. American League Reliever of the Year goes to Aroldis Chapman, who is now an Angel, still doing it at the age of 36. And then you have a slew of Indians right here. Evans, James Karinchak, Emmanuel Clase, and then some White Sox here with Bummer and Shriver, and then two Mariners. So lots of duos from teams, but none of those guys take home the win. Loizaga here, who is on the Padres, he goes ahead and takes home Reliever of the Year. He was very good for the Padres this season. Degas, I believe it is, for the Dodgers, he finished second, a very close race there between those guys. And then Max Meyer here for the Marlins, and Josh Hader for the Cubs. Looking at the Silver Slugger Award winners, kind of looks like the future is here. Rutschman wins, Guerrero Jr., Biggio, Rendon still here. Torres winning for shortstop, even though he's listed at third base. He did play a slight majority of his games at shortstop. Looks like in the future he might be moving positions. Jimenez, Josh Lowe is here. Kelnick and Altuve is here as a designated hitter now for the Astros. 5'6" first baseman. I'm not too sure about that, but he mainly acted as a DH for them this year. Don't know about playing a 5'6" guy at first base. Then we have Platinum Stick Award winners, or I should say a Silver Slugger, and we do have a winner here, Ryan Nelson, actually. So a little award winner for the Pirates here. He slashed 265, 294, and 376, an OPS plus of 76 right there, baby. That honestly probably was higher than Almeas's and some other guys on the team. So good looks for you, Ryan Nelson. I don't know if his hitting ratings are pretty so-so. He's a little bit of gap power, a little bit of eye and avoid Ks there. He's not the worst hitting pitcher in the world, probably. And then here are the rest of the guys. Not quite sure who this guy is, but he won it in left field for the National League. And then pretty much everyone else here is pretty much to be expected. Didi Gregorius is playing third base now. Probably a good move for his career. So you can't really even handle shortstop in real life anymore. American League Rookie of the Year goes to Greg Cullen. He pretty much played all of the season with the Orioles, and he is a 28-year-old rookie, so he goes ahead and takes it home. Pretty cool to see. Then Michael Rothenberg is also their catcher for the Tigers, and he is a pretty good catcher. Also an older guy than Ariel Martinez, also an older guy there. Now I swear this guy was in free agency last year, and he had a huge demand. It really pisses me off that he signed here. I mean, of course, I would love to have this guy for 5 cents. Are you kidding me? We could really use that as the Pirates right now. That is for sure. He would have been the perfect Pirate, actually. And then, we have a former Pirate here who ends up winning Rookie of the Year in the National League. O'Neal Cruz, who, of course, dealt to the Diamondbacks. Of course, we didn't really have a spot for him. He looks like he ended up playing some right field for them. Actually, mostly third base. A little bit of right field. But, he had a pretty nice little season for them. He had 28 homers. Not much to say besides his power numbers, but did play very good. We have a Tatlu here who I believe he was one of the international guys who's available last year. I did kind of like his ratings, but I went with the guy who we ended up getting, which was Jing Chang. So, a nice little player there. He's definitely, more valuable than his 40 rating would indicate. Parkinson is also there, and Austin Hendrick. Don't want to take too much time. Service wins AL skipper. Roberts wins NL. DeGrom, another Cy Young. Excuse me, I'm not quite sure what happened here, but his ratings are so bad. But no, I'm not quite sure how he took home the Cy Young. I mean, his ratings are pretty bad. I mean, he turned into a good season. He's just not DeGrom anymore based on those ratings. He's still under contract for a little bit more. That's kind of interesting to see that he took home another Cy Young with those type of ratings. Just interested pitching must have been just really bad in the American League somehow this year. If DeGrom really had to take this award home. And it looks like it just might have been. Wow, that's crazy. I'm very interested to see how he pans out next year. And I wonder if his ratings just happen to fall off a cliff at some point in the year, which can happen in this game. Mackenzie Gore wins it for the Padres. We unfortunately didn't see him in the wildcard game, but we still, of course, lost. And then here's the rest of the guys. Rocker got some votes here. Hey, good looks for that. I think that's about it. Oh, no, we do have MVP. How could I forget? Vladdy Jr. wins it. Torkelson finishes second, and he's with the Tigers. What position is he playing? Looks like he actually played mostly first base, but a little combo position mixed in there. He's actually not that bad defensively as an outfielder, it looks like, in this game, which is very interesting that they're not playing him out there. And Kelnick finishes third. National League-wise, Bellinger wins. He is a monster in OOTP. Acuna and Albies finish second and third, so pretty cool to see there for those guys. Cheju Ko is in here in the mix, getting some votes, which is cool to see. And no other Pirates getting votes, so that's about that for that. And as you can see, we're almost here to free agency filing, so we'll go ahead and spend a few days and look at who's available here. Alright, so we're here the day of free agency filings, and we'll take a look at who's available here. Doesn't look like, there is a lefty here who's interesting and pretty decently rated. There's a very good reliever there. And position player-wise, there's this guy who's sort of interesting. Actually, he's not really interesting at all, but he is in the Cubs organization already. So this guy would like a 900K. He's a lefty pitcher. Probably would like him more as a reliever. The question is, do we even have room to sign him? Because we do need to prioritize that backup catcher. And looks like we do have. We would have about $3 million if we decided to bring him on. And I'm not deciding to do that, at least for now. But let me see this guy. This is who I want to see. This guy wants to get paid about $4 million. He is durable. I think what we do here, though, is look for our backup catcher real quick first. Because we do have Grant Cook But of course, with the guys that we have, aka Rortvet here, we need. I will refuse to have a defensive catcher who's not catcher ability first player. Take a look at overall free agency just to see for fun who we could get, even though there's no one here that we can afford. That's who the top guys are. Even though we can't afford any of them. Catcher wise, who's available here? Same guys who were available before. Kim Gallagher's ratings actually have declined a little bit there. It looks like Reese McGuire, he looks like he could be our man. Nito is here, although he probably doesn't even want to return with us. He looks like he'd possibly be interested. Although he probably is kind of mad at us for not being on the roster. See, McGuire is a leader. I'm pretty sure Nito is a leader, but I was kind of hoping. Yes, Ali Sanchez here is a captain, and I like his offensive profile better. A lot of the other guys, and he's better defensively. So we will go ahead and offer him up first here. Can we get him for 1.2? Hopefully. I would love to get him first. If you haven't guessed already, this is going to be a quiet offseason, which I think I might have already mentioned. But we just are very, very short on funds and can't really bring many people in. I would like to see maybe our bullpen situation to see if we can maybe squeeze in that 75 overall guy. Although, of course, we do already have a lot of guys who are very good for us. But, getting a highly rated guy like the one who's available could really be good for our team. Let's see what we could do for him here. If we could get him for like $2 million for these 3 years in a row, that would be literally awesome. He's not quite interested, so maybe we'll wait a bit and see. If not, I might just I don't even know what I would do with the money. I probably just wouldn't even spend it since we do have so few. So I'll go ahead and sim forward and kind of let you guys know how the offseason goes. This could be one episode, depending how long it is, but probably not because I think I'm already into it a good chunk of time. Looking at the Rule 5 draft here, which is something that I'm usually all over. I'm not going to be picking anyone this year, just mainly because of the fact that we just don't have any spots in the 40-man. I had to add quite a few guys on our own team onto the 40-man to avoid them getting picked. Guys that I wanted to keep around. Guys like this catcher, would be very interesting, although he's not even close to Major League ready. Also, Drew Rasmussen would be extremely interesting. He's a fantastic reliever who could even maybe start for us, but we just don't have room for him. I'll preview the roster very, very quickly. As you can see, we just don't have anyone on the team that I will, want to give up room for. We have so much pitching depth on the team, so much outfield depth. I had to add a lot of guys down here, like a Luther Head. I wasn't gonna let him go. We literally have a million lefty outfield bats that we can use. It's going to be very tough to decide who's going to make the Major League roster out of all of these guys, to be honest, especially since we do have so many lefties. But, it is a good problem to have, having too much depth. So we're going to go ahead and keep on chugging along. Looking here at the Hall of Fame voting results, no one happened to get in this year. CC Sabathia got incredibly close, 74.4%, which is crazy. He was so close, 0.5% away, basically. Beltran is also here. Beltre is also here in his second year. Ichiro's here in his first year. Manny Ramirez has his make or break year next year. Lots of guys in their first few years here. Here are the guys who got dropped. Martin and Tulisky actually were pretty close to staying on the ballot. And then I see a lot of guys here at the bottom. So those are the guys who went for Hall of Fame. Ali Sanchez did go ahead and sign, so he's going to be our backup catcher this year. Thought I would go ahead and quick mention that. I don't know why it's sorting by SA ratings. Would rather have it go by that. And with that, we brought him in. See who else is available here. Even though, none of these guys who we could bring in are even worth our time anyway. So we're just going to go ahead and move into spring training because none of those guys are worth bringing in for us. After what was a very quiet off season, we are ready to set our lineup for opening day. As you can see, there were a few injuries in spring training. Quinn Priester got hurt for a bit, but he is back. Almaeus is going to be down for 2 more weeks, so we're going to need to cover shortstop with him gone. Right now, the AI has Cole Tucker. And speaking of AI, there's something that I forgot to touch on this season. That is that we needed a new manager, and also as well as like a whole minor league coaching staff. And I went ahead and filled all those roles, but I forgot to show them. So first things first, we're going to introduce everyone to our new manager, which is Dave Martinez, who of course in real life is the Nationals manager. Looks like he got canned after a poor 64-98 season in the past year. Had basically been on a downward trajectory since that 2019 World Series, but our manager has won a World Series, so there's that here. His ratings, he's a sabermetric manager, which is what I was looking for. A guy who doesn't really like to take bases, but does aggressively run the bases. Values pitching matchups a good bit. Shifts, all of that type of good stuff. Doesn't really bunt, so I don't have to mess too much with the game strategy settings. So, he's going to be our new manager. So he will be, will be kind of adhering to what he says, rather than our previous manager, who is a tactician. As you can see, he wants to bat the pitcher 8th, which is something that sometimes these type of managers like to do, because batting the pitcher 8th does usually equate to a few more runs a season, and we're going to be trying to squeeze every ounce of offense that we can get out of this team. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and set our roster. Grant Cook, he's going to be our 3rd catcher again this year, and he's going to be in AAA. Of course, we signed Ali Sanchez to be our backup catcher. Nick Gonzalez, he is an interesting one. As I said before, this is going to be tough to cut down this roster. Cal Stevenson, we have all these lefties, so Janista and Palma, they're first and foremost going down. Palma might have to stay up as a bench bat. Paguro also could stay up as a bench bat. I'm not quite sure how we're going to go ahead and do this. I think Bay might need to go down, just because we need to keep up with either Palma or Paguro. Maybe not both. Stevenson, we're going to go ahead and send him down. Same with Hudson Head. Gonzalez, Gonzalez we could probably go ahead and keep up, as he can be that hitter. So we can go ahead and send Paguro down, so that's fine. So that gets them to 14, and we'll want to send at least one more guy down. Will it be Bay? Maybe should. Swaggerty also probably won't get that many ABs. We need Bay as a guy who can play backup shortstop, because I'm not going to be playing Gonzalez there. So I think we'll probably go ahead and leave him on the roster, so that probably leaves Swaggerty as the odd man out. And you don't really need 3 backup outfielders anyway. So I think for now we go ahead and send Swaggerty down. So that'll set our 13 then. Now we move on to pitching. Though we, of course, will have to leave one spot open for Priester. Pitching-wise, it's basically just going to be whoever has options left, because we are quite deep. So speaking of options, we do have a new addition this year, Kobos, who, of course, was in the minor league team previously, and he has really jumped in ratings, so probably prefer to keep him on the team. Wyman's going to go down again. Nick Mears is going to go down again. I'm pretty much sending down all the 50 guys that we can. Hartlieb. We're going to need to keep Gonzalez up, so we have a second lefty. Lawson's ratings are back up again, and he doesn't have any options left. Might just have to send down Kobos for now, I guess. We'll send him down AAA. Brubaker, we probably have to send him down too. Brubaker refuses to be demoted. Awesome. Maybe Hartley will be demoted. He will. This is tough. And we were going to just have to DFA Brubaker if he won't go down. After simming a day to kind of let the coach sort out the roster, we simmed through opening day and lost to the Reds 6-11. Here's how Martinez wants the lineup to shake out. Here against righties, we have pretty much the same thing we had last year. Adamant leading off again, since in the 2-hole there, he already has a day-to-day injury. Coe, Rortvedt, Hayes, Florial, Robinson, and then Tucker batting in the 9-hole. You can see the subs. Jing Chang's our top pinch hitter off the bench against right-handed pitching. Then you have Gonzalez, Bay, and Palma. Bay is also the pinch runner. And then against left-handed pitching, we're actually using a platoon at second base. Gonzalez, he's going to be leading off still and playing second base, but Adamant will be the backup. Of course, Gonzalez is better against left-handed pitching. And then you can see the rest of the lineup for yourself. And Tucker, of course, who's still filling in shortstop for Almaeus, and is hitting 9th. So the shortstop will most likely just be hitting 9th for us all season. I don't anticipate that it would change with the return of Almaeus. And then pinch hitters, you of course have Palma being our main pinch hitter against lefties. And then you have Adamant, Sanchez, Jing Chang. And then pinch runners, you have Adamant and Bay. Pitching-wise, here is how the rotation looks with Priester added in. He is the 5th man. You have Keller, Nelson again, and Rocker. And then Tristan McKenzie returns as the closer. Reggie Lawson back in the setup role. Bednar, Alexander, Cedarland, Havigura. Bednar, actually, I don't know, if there's declining ratings, I might, I don't know, kind of rethinking my waivers, because I did have to waive a couple of these guys here, including Brubaker. I think actually we'll change my mind here and we'll retain this guy. Even though he hasn't performed well, I have more confidence that he won't get claimed over Bednar, who I think, or I don't think Kawasaki will get claimed. I think he will get claimed when I think Bednar would be less likely to get claimed. He also performed poorly in his first game. So yeah, that should do it pretty much for how everything checked out. Rocker had a bad start in that first showing there, but his ratings are very, very high now. So yeah, that's how it's going to shake out for the season. At least at this point, I'm probably going to follow along closer than I usually do, since we are now a contending team, and every decision stuff like that is magnified, because of course we are trying to contend and win a World Series this year and get back to the postseason. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.